It was supposed to be an easy crawl, a simple adventure, just a weekend thrill. The cave wasn't even on the maps. Locals called it the vein, because it cut through the mountain like something alive, twisting, pulsing, narrowing until only the brave, or the stupid, would try to push deeper. I thought I was brave. I thought I was prepared. I was wrong. We went in as a group of 4. Me, Daniel, Claire, and Victor. Headlamps bright, helmets strapped tight, backpacks filled with rope, water, energy bars. The first chambers were wide, almost comforting. The walls shimmered with minerals that caught our light. Claire laughed. Victor cracked jokes. Daniel led the way, crawling ahead like he had done this 100 times. I followed, trusting, excited. But then, the cave changed. The walls pressed closer. The ceiling dropped lower. The air turned heavy. Our voices echoed differently. Not loud, not clear, muffled. Like something was swallowing the sound before it reached the walls. Daniel called back. "This is the squeeze. Just keep moving." I swallowed hard. The squeeze. I had read about them. Passages so tight you could feel the rock pressing against your ribs. Passages that dared you to push forward even as your mind screamed to turn back. The first squeeze was bad, but I made it through. On the other side, Daniel shone his light and grinned. "See? Nothing to it." Claire smiled nervously. Victor muttered something about never eating pizza again before crawling. We laughed, but it was a nervous laugh, the kind that hides fear. We pushed deeper, crawling, sliding, our knees grinding against stone. The cave twisted like a serpent. Every turn felt tighter, every breath harder. I started counting my breaths, in, out, because if I didn't, I was sure I'd panic. Then came the second squeeze. It looked impossible, a slit in the rock, barely wider than my chest, and it sloped downward. Daniel went first. He twisted his body, exhaled, slid in head first. His boots scraped as he wriggled forward. The sound echoed sharp. Then, silence, a long silence. "Daniel?" Claire called. Nothing. My heart pounded. I pressed my ear to the stone. Then, faintly, "Keep coming. It opens up ahead." Relief, but not much. Victor cursed under his breath, then shoved himself in. His body scraped against the walls. A horrible sound, like flesh against teeth. He groaned, grunted, pushed harder. Then his boots disappeared from sight. Silence again. Claire looked at me, her face pale, her hands shaking. "Your turn." I dropped to the ground, laid flat, pressed my helmet into the slit. The stone was cold, unforgiving. I exhaled, pushed my arms through, then my shoulders. The rock closed around me, pressed against my ribs, squeezed my chest. I couldn't move my arms freely, only inch them forward, one at a time. My breath caught. Panic scratched at the edges of my mind. I shut my eyes, exhaled again, forced my body deeper. The stone scraped my back, my stomach, my hips. Then I was stuck. I tried to move. I couldn't. The rock pressed into me from all sides. I exhaled again, but it wasn't enough. My chest couldn't rise. I couldn't take a full breath. I tried to back out. My helmet scraped. My shoulders jammed. I was trapped. The darkness pressed harder than the stone. Silent. Absolute. I tried not to scream. Then I heard it. A whisper. Close. Too close. "Don't move." It wasn't Daniel. It wasn't Victor. It wasn't Claire. The voice was inside the stone, inside my head. "Don't move. Stay with me." I froze. The air turned colder. My breath fogged the rock. The whisper slid through the crack like smoke. "You'll never leave me. None of you." My body convulsed. I thrashed, kicked, and suddenly, I slid free. I tumbled into an opening. Gasps of relief filled the chamber. Daniel grabbed my arm. Victor slapped my helmet. Claire hugged me, trembling. I tried to laugh, but my voice shook. They didn't hear it. They didn't hear the whisper. I wanted to tell them, but I didn't, because part of me knew the cave wouldn't like that. The third squeeze was worse, so much worse. By then, our water was low, our lights dimmer, and something felt wrong. Daniel's confidence cracked. Victor stopped joking. Claire refused to lead, so I did, against my own fear. I pressed into the slit of rock, but this time, the stone pulsed. I swear it moved, like a lung, expanding, contracting, and the whisper returned, clearer, colder. You're inside me now. You belong to me. I don't know how long it took. Minutes, hours. Time didn't matter down there. All I knew was the stone wanted us. The cave wanted us. And it almost got us, because only 3 of us made it out. Victor never emerged. We searched, screamed his name until our throats bled. Daniel even crawled back in, dragging rope behind him. But the passage was empty, silent, sealed, as if the cave had swallowed him whole. When we stumbled back into daylight, Claire collapsed. Daniel sat in silence. And I still heard the whisper, every night since, when I close my eyes, when I dream. The cave is still inside me, waiting, breathing, calling me back.
I had always feared drowning more than anything, but I never thought I'd face that fear, underground, in total darkness, with stone pressing in from all sides. The cave was called the Widow's Mouth, a gaping entrance at the base of a cliff. Locals warned us not to go, said too many had gone in and not come back. But we were young, cocky, hungry for stories to brag about, so we ignored the warnings and went in anyway. It was just 3 of us, me, Aaron, and Lila. We had explored before, but never a water cave, never something this dangerous. We wore wetsuits, carried oxygen tanks, headlamps strapped tight. I told myself it was enough. I told myself we were prepared. I lied. The entrance swallowed us whole. Cold water to our chests, then to our shoulders, then above our heads. The first breath from the regulator was shaky, loud, metallic. I hated that sound. The hiss, the gurgle, the reminder that all that kept me alive was a fragile tank strapped to my back. The tunnels were black, pitch black. Even our beams of light seemed weak. The water swallowed everything, every sound, every thought. Only our bubbles rose. Only our bodies drifted forward. I kept close to Aaron's fins, Lila behind me, her light flickering against the rock walls. The deeper we swam, the narrower it got. Then we reached the chamber. At first, it was beautiful. A cavern so wide our lights couldn't reach the ceiling. Water as still as glass. Echoes of our bubbles bouncing in strange rhythms. It felt sacred, like we weren't supposed to be there. Aaron surfaced, pulled his regulator out, smiled. See? Not so bad. Lila laughed nervously. I forced a grin. But my chest was tight. The silence pressed harder than the water. Then I heard it. A drip. Just one. From the ceiling above. Plink. Plink. I shined my light. Saw nothing. But the water rippled. Slowly. As if something unseen had disturbed it. We should have left, right then. But Aaron insisted we keep going. There's another passage. Locals say it connects to an underground river. He pointed at a dark slit at the far end of the chamber, barely wide enough to crawl through, completely submerged. I wanted to say no. I wanted to leave. But Lila nodded, and I didn't want to be the coward. So we went. The slit was suffocating, barely room to move my arms. My tank scraped the ceiling. My chest pressed against stone. Bubbles raced up. I exhaled too fast. My regulator hissed louder. I felt my heartbeat in my ears. Panic scratched at my skull. Then, I felt something. A current. Strong. Pulling. It dragged me forward. Deeper. Faster. I reached out, fingers scraping rock, trying to stop, but the water was stronger. It sucked me in, like the cave itself had swallowed me. For a second, I thought I was dead. Then, the passage opened. I shot out into another chamber. This one half filled with water. Air above. I ripped my regulator out and gasped. Aaron surfaced seconds later, laughing. Hell yeah. But Lila didn't appear. Not for a long time. When she finally did, her eyes were wide, her breaths short. She didn't speak. She just clung to the rock wall and stared. I followed her gaze and froze. The chamber was wrong, too perfect, circular walls smooth as glass, and carved into the stone. Faces, hundreds of them, mouths open, eyes hollow, drowned faces, locked in silent screams. The water rippled again, but none of us moved. Then the current shifted. A deep rumble filled the chamber. The water rose, fast. Aaron swore, shoved his regulator back in. Back the way we came! We dove. But the slit, the tunnel, it was gone, sealed by rock. I screamed through my regulator, bubbles exploding upward, the water rising, the faces watching. Lila clawed at the wall. Aaron slammed his fists against stone. And me. I turned my light downward, because I felt movement beneath my feet. Something shifted below the water, something massive. The chamber vibrated, the carved faces seemed to ripple. Then a mouth opened in the wall, not stone, not carved, real, wet, alive. The current roared, sucking us toward it. Aaron fought, kicked, vanished into the dark. Lila screamed. Her regulator slipped from her mouth. She choked, clawed at me. I tried to hold her, but the current was stronger. She was ripped away. And then... silence. The current stopped. The chamber stilled. The water lowered. I floated alone. The faces stared. And one of them moved. Its lips curled. Bubbles leaked from its mouth. And in a voice I'll never forget, it whispered, "Breathe with us." I don't remember how I got out. I don't remember the passage that led me back. I don't remember the light of day, but I remember their faces. I see them every time I close my eyes. Aaron, Lila, the drowned. All of them. Still down there. Still whispering. And one day, I know the widow's mouth will open for me again. And I won't escape. Not this time.